Now let's look at the bottom part. Again, these are still level 3 questions, okay? So these are things that you should learn as a 4th grader. We talked about a couple of different things when adding mixed numbers. What is our first rule? When we add mixed numbers, what's our first rule? Jordan? We only add the numerators of our fractions. We do not add the denominators. What else is a rule? They have to have the same denominator to add, which they all will because that's our 4th grade standard. Now, if you attempt a level 4 question, they have different denominators. But where do we start? Do I start on the right or the left? Riley. I always start on the right. So this first one is pretty straightforward. 2 ninths plus 4 ninths equals 6 ninths. 6 plus 3 equals 9. Now, let's look at that fraction. What do we notice? What do I know about this fraction? Jacob. It's not in simplest form. Now, I actually want us to list out the factors. What are the factors for 6? What can I multiply together to get 6? Derek? 2 and 3. What else? 1 and 6. Let's look at the factors for 9. What can I multiply together to get 9? Jacob? 3 times 3 and Harper? 1 times 9. Now, what is the factor, the biggest factor that they have the same? We know it doesn't do us any good to divide our fractions by 1. Melanie? 3. And the reason I want to talk about this is this. Mrs. Dale, something I'm noticing that lots of kids are doing is when they're going to reduce, they're automatically dividing by 2. And not every number can be divided by 2. 9 cannot be divided by 2. So I need to look, and I encourage you to actually list the factors. Okay, because we're not all great at knowing right away what the factors of numbers are. List them out, okay? So let's divide our top and bottom by 3. And then here's another thing to remember. Bring that 9 over. You need to make sure 9 is part of your answer. 6 divided by 3 is what? 6 divided by 3 is, everyone can say it, 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So it's 9 2/3. Let's make sure to circle our answer. If you do this and you divide these by 3, then you say it's 2/3. That looks like 2/3 is your answer. Do not forget to go back and put your whole number. I was watching Quentin this morning and he was going through and doing this. But then he was coming up here and writing his whole answer and circling it. You need to make sure that your whole answer is together. It needs a whole number and a fraction. Because 9 6/9 does not equal 2/3. Okay? Okay, let's look at this one. Where do I start? With the fraction or the whole number? Gage. The fraction. What is 7/12 plus 9/12? Riley. 16/12. And what is 4 plus 3? What's 4 plus 3? I should have lots of hands up. Everyone in here should know 4 plus 3. Aiden. 7. 7 and 16/12. Now I need to look at that fraction. I should already in my head be thinking what? Oh no, I can't have that. I can't have 16 on top. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. I watched Kirsten this morning, and she reduced it first. You're going to have to reduce your fraction either now or later. It might make the division earlier or easier if you reduce it in the beginning. So what do I know that 16 and 12 can both be divided by? Let's list them out. What can I multiply to get 16? Every hand should be up. What can I multiply to get 16? Liam. 4 times 4. What else? Nora. 8 times 2. What else? 1 times 16. Okay? What about 12? What can I multiply to get 12? Jacob. 3 times 4. What else? 1 times 12. What else, Ada? 2 times 6. Now, you can divide these both by 2, and that will help you, but you're going to have to divide again. Okay, so let's find the biggest one that they have in common, which is 4. 4. Okay, so now I have 16 divided by 4 and 12 divided by 4, giving me 7 and 4/3. But I'm still not done. Why? Why am I not done? Allie. Because 4/3 is an improper fraction. So I need to change that. I can change that 2 ways. I can do 4 divided by 3. How many times can 3 go into 4? 1 time. When I subtract my 3, that leaves me 1. Bring my 1 to the top and put it over my denominator. My denominator doesn't change. It's here. It's my divisor. 1 and 1/3. Another way that I can do that, which we talked about earlier and yesterday, is I can take that 4/3 and I can subtract my 1 whole out and bring it down. I can see how many times can I take out 1 whole? 1 time. And then when I subtract, I'm left with 1/3. So it's 1 and 1/3. It doesn't matter how you do it. Pick the way you're most comfortable. We know that division is repeated subtraction. So you can either divide or you can subtract until you can't take 1 out anymore. Now in the end, remember, you have to go back and put your whole number, 7, and your fraction, 1/3. Circle your final answer. Okay, I know that's kind of messy because I did a lot of extra work. On the test, you can have extra paper if you need it. Okay, Gage. Yes, you have to go back and put the whole number in front of it. Yes, you do. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. I messed up. Gage caught me. I messed up on video. How embarrassing. I had 7, and then I have to add my 1 and 1/3. So it's not 7 and 1/3. What is it? 8 and 1/3. And look, I'm out of room for my answer. 8 and 1/3. I'll bring it down to here. Good job, Gage. Come grab a gobstopper. Okay. You have to add your mixed number, and I apologize. I feel like I just messed us up. When I come down here, I'm just going to show you on a clean sheet of paper that I had 7 and 4/3 is what I was working with. 4/3, we said, equals 1 and 1/3. I have to add that whole thing to the 7. So it's 8 and 1/3. Okay, does that make sense? Put your thumb up if it makes sense. Okay, thumb down if you think I'm like an alien trying to explain something that you cannot possibly fathom. Oh, come on, you don't think I'm an alien, Addie. Okay, so let's look at part C, number C, and I'm just gonna work it on a clean sheet of paper because I'm running out of room. 5 and 6/9 minus 2 and 3/9, that should be pretty easy. What do we get? Do I start in the right or the left? Okay, 6/9 minus 3/9, everybody say it. 6/9 minus 3/9, everybody say it. 3/9. 5 minus 2? 3. Okay, let's look at that fraction. Is that okay?
No, it can both be divided by 3.
They can both be divided by 3. So, remember to bring your whole number over. Then what's 3 divided by 3 is? 9 divided by 3 is? 3. 3 and 1/3. And then if you do your work on a separate sheet, make sure you come back and put it up here. This is a hot mess down here. Okay, And then D is 8 and 2/5 minus 3 and 4/5. Do I start on the right or the left? Okay, 2/5 minus 4/5. Who can tell me what that is? Yay, that is correct. We cannot subtract 2/5 minus 4/5. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Regroup. So I need to borrow. From my 8, I now have a 7. I just borrowed. How much did I borrow? 1. So I have to add 1 to 2/5. How do I add 1 to 2/5? 1 is equal to what? How many fifths? 1 is equal to 5/5. So now instead of adding 8 and 2/5, I'm adding 7 and what's 2/5 plus 5/5? 7/5. And I'm ready to subtract. 7/5 minus 4/5 equals 3/5. 7 minus 3 equals 4. And look at the fraction, 3/5. Can I reduce that? Can 3 and 5 be divided by the same number? No. 3 can only be divided by 1 and 3. 5 cannot be divided by 3. So 4 and 3/5 is my final answer. Are there questions about those? Okay? Okay, here we go. 2 and 3/4, make it an improper fraction. We all know how to do it. Raise your hand and tell me how to do it. Callie. And okay, so 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11, and I need to put it over the same denominator. What is my denominator? 4. 32/7. 32 divided by 7. That line means divided by 32. Now, some of us are struggling because we still don't know our multiplication facts. Your life will be so much easier if you will spend 10 minutes a day practicing your multiplication facts. Practice your multiplication facts on your way to soccer practice, on your way to gymnastics, on your way to softball, on your way to go see your grandma and grandpa. Put an app on a phone or an iPad and practice your multiplication facts every day. Everyone has 10 minutes in the car. I used to keep my kids' spelling words in the console of my car, and every time we got in the car, I would pull it out and quiz my kids on their spelling words. Okay? Because I am busy just like you are. But practicing math facts is something that you can do in the car. How many times can 7 go into 32 without going over? Every hand should be up. 4 times. Okay, listen. 7 can go into 32 4 whole times. That is your whole number. 4 times 7 is 28, so I need to subtract. 32 minus 28 gives me 4. Bring the 4 up and put it over the same denominator. The denominator is the same. 4 and 4/7. Now, you can also do that as repeated subtraction. How many times can I subtract 1? So, minus 7 over 7 gives me what? 32 minus 7, that gives me 25 over 7. I have 1 whole. I just took out 1 whole. Take out 7 over 7 again. That leaves me with my second whole and 18/7. Take out 7 over 7 again. That leaves me with my third whole and 11/7. Take out 7 again, or 1 again. That leaves me with my fourth whole and 4/7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4/7. This is faster. If you know your multiplication facts, this is faster. But we know that division is the same as repeated subtraction. So you can subtract 7/7 out of there. See how many times you do it to come up with your whole number. There was 1 whole, 2 whole, 3 whole, 4 whole, and 4/7 were left. Okay? Stick with this if you know your multiplication facts. But it's important to understand why it works. Okay, yes, Lexi. You can draw the circles. You can draw the circles for this problem. The problem where you're regrouping? Yes, you can go on and you can do 5 6/9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, and you can draw out 9ths. It's not easy. Okay? They're not going to be perfect, but you can fudge it. Okay? And you can shade in your 9ths until you, and then X them out like we did yesterday until you get to your answer. On this, yes, you can draw 7ths. Okay? Until you get to 32/7, and it will be the same. This is your easiest way. Dividing is your easiest way, but you need to know your math facts. Okay, I apologize.